Evening all, welcome to another live stream, and as you, all those of you who've seen me preliminary thumbnail, what I usually put out a couple of days before I'm due to go on air, tonight we're going to be discussing everything about the late great Vincent Price. So if you've got a favourite Vincent Price movie, favourite Vincent Price performance, let us know, and let's start a hearty discussion. So yeah, it's nice to have you all along again, and I'm really looking forward to this one because I'm a huge fan of Vincent Price. So, before we start, guys, just please let me know if there's any problems with the sound or visuals, because I always like to know, before I really go into it, like in earnest, the live stream, if there's any hiccups or anything, if you can hear me okay, or if there's any problems of any nature, do let me know, so we can sort it out, like before we get any further. So I'm looking forward to it tonight, like, Vincent Price, absolute legend of horror, and made many other non-horror movies as well, still missing to this day. I've got quite a few Vincent Price movies in my collection. Some of my favourites are The Witchfinder General, Theatre of Blood, The Fly. So so as I say, we'll let's get a hearty discussion going about Vincent Price and his remarkable work. Before we start then, guys, if any of you have brought any bargains this week, if you've been doing any Blu-ray or DVD hunting, let us know. Always keen to hear what people have picked up on that. Okay then, guys, so without further ado, we'll just get straight into the comments. Right, so Brian's here, Brian Hall. Hello, Alan, hope you're well. I'm not too, thanks, Brian, hope you are too. Thanks for coming along, mate. Brian Gilson, hi Alan, how are you? I'm not too bad, thanks, Brian. Hope you are good as well. KW's here, hi Alan, you okay, Kay? Thanks for dropping by. Jeff's here, evening Alan and all. Evening Jeff, thanks for dropping by. Hope you've had a good week, mate. Am I dead? Yes. Hello there. First time on one of your lives. Oh, welcome to the fold. Yeah. Hope you enjoy it. Yeah, we've got a good crowd on here. So thanks for stopping by. Brian Gilson, sound and picture are good. That's what I like to hear. Always like to hear. As I've said in previous live streams, I've been experimenting with various, methods. I've had me external microphones in. I've used me internal microphones, and I'm just trying to get the best possible sound and, of course, picture quality. Well, I've got no complaints with this camera. What I'm using, it's been very good. It's just the sound can be a little bit tricky. So I'm going to make sure I get that right as well before I have any guests on, which should be, guys. Fingers crossed in a couple of weeks' time. So I'll do an invitation video anyway. So if you want to, guest on one of my lives, let me know, and I'll accommodate you all. So yeah. Just bear with me, guys, just to get the comments in focus. Jeff saying Vincent was a very intelligent man. He certainly was. Yeah. An art expert amongst other things, definitely. Yeah. Oh yeah, he loved his art. He really did. Yeah. And he was a very good gourmet as well. Very good cook. Yeah. Okay, saying the most recent Vincent Price Blu-ray I bought was the Bat. I've got that one, the Bat Special Edition. Yeah, it's a great one. That a guilty pleasure but enjoyable. Yeah, I like the Bat. Yeah. I got that the same time as I bought the special edition of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the Frederick March Blu-ray. So, I love the Bat. Great one. Gina's here. Hi, Alan and everyone. You okay, Gina? Thanks for stopping by. Nice to see you again. Right. Larry Fleetwood. Price's own favourite was Theatre of Blood, I believe. Oh, right. I do know he was very fond of that movie, but I didn't realise it was his favourite. Oh yeah, that's one of my all-time favourites. Vincent Price movies. He does it with just like Dr. Phibes. He does it with a great deal of tongue in cheek, doesn't he? He gets dressed up in all these like weird disguises and that. And it's Diana Rigg. I think she plays either his granddaughter or his daughter, and she gets dressed up as well in some real weird outfits, doesn't she? Always remember the kill and the hairdressers there. He has the frizzy perm on and the dark glasses. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. Oh yeah, very very tongue in cheek, those movies, but very very horrific as well. Brian's saying he was really good in Bloodbath at the House of Death. Yeah, I haven't got that one in my collection. That's Kenny Everett, isn't it? And Pamela Stevenson and the guy that was in the Avengers, Gareth Hunt. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah. Am I dead? Yes. Maybe a daft question, but is Vincent Price your favourite out of the Hammer horror legends? Price, Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee and any others? Well, Vincent Price, I don't think he... did he make any Hammer films? I don't think he did he? I know he was going to be in Taste of Blood of Dracula, but he's one of my favourites. He's not my all-time favourites, because like you've got like Karloff, Christopher Lee, Lon Cheney Jr., Bela Lugosi. I rank them all like among my all-time favourites. There's not one particular one I say is really my all-time favourites. I like them all equally, but yeah, very very fond of Vincent Price. I'd say Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, Christopher Lee, Lon Cheney Jr., all the kings of horror as far as I'm concerned. KW, Theatre of Blood is an excellent film. Must watch it again soon. It is, yeah. Always remember that poodle pie scene with Robert Morley. Oh my days, that was really revolting. That, yeah, and he was the last one. Well, one of the last ones to be killed, wasn't he? I think Ian Henry was the last critic, wasn't he? Yeah, but oh yeah, always remember that poodle pie scene. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely gross. I still wince when I watch it to this day. Yeah. And the other kill where he dumps him in the big vat of wine, that's quite a shocking kill as well. Yeah, oh yeah, he did some gruesome killings in those two movies, the Theatre of Blood and Dr. Phibes Rises Again. Not Dr. Phibes Rises Again was a sequel. The Abominable Dr. Phibes, that was my favourite, but Dr. Phibes Rises Again, I didn't care for that one. That was when he went into the the desert, wasn't it? And Robert Quarry was in it. Yeah, I've watched that a couple of times and I can't get into that one. Dr. Phibes Rises Again. So, but I do love the Abominable Dr. Phibes, yeah. Oh yeah. Top of his game in that he was. He really was. Right, Jeff's saying Madhouse was an excellent film with Peter Cushing. It certainly was. Yeah, I like that one. Robert Quarry was in that one as well. He played Count Yorga. I wish he'd done some more like that, but I think he concentrated more on stage work after that film. Yeah. Did a few films though. Oh yeah, he's got a long and illustrious career, Vincent Price, hasn't he? Yeah. Oh yeah, he was one of the greatest, I think. Yeah, I loved him in The House on Haunted Hill as well. And as I say, The Fly, and The Witchfinder General. All my days, I think that was one of his most evil roles ever, where he played Matthew Hopkins, the notorious Witchfinder who travelled through the English countryside. He was getting like money, wasn't he, for sort of like bringing innocent people. A lot of innocent people were accused of being witches and that. And he was the kind at the forefront. So he was the kind of forefront, wasn't he, Hopkins, against the battle against witchcraft. Yeah, very very brutal movie that, The Witchfinder General, and oh yeah, he's pure evil in that. He really is. Oh, Vincent Price could not play a baddie, couldn't he? Just like Christopher Lee. I love it when he does that voice as well in Thriller. The Michael Jackson Thriller. He goes, "Darkness falls across the land. Midnight hour is close at hand." He's very, very hard to take off, Vincent Price, but you get me drift, don't you? Yeah, I love that song. Gina's saying Theatre of Blood is my favourite, yeah. Vincent Price film, and The Abominable Dr. Phibes is my second favourite. Yeah, classics of the 1970s, those two, Gina. I've got them in my collection. Yeah, I never get tired of watching them. Am I dead? Yes. I may be confused. I just thought he was a Hammer horror too. No, the actors that are most associated with Hammer horror are Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. And if you want like a sort of like a kind of a third character, Michael Ripper. I think he was in I think Michael Ripper was in every single Hammer horror movie. Yeah. Right. KW, no, he didn't do a Hammer. I'm very surprised he didn't. No. And as I say, he was going to be in Taste of Blood of Dracula, but I don't know what happened there, but it fell through, it never came to fruition, yeah. I think he was going to play one of the decadent businessmen, who drank Dracula's blood in the desanctified church where Lord Courtly, played by Ralph Bates, held the ceremony, yeah. Am I dead? Yes, is saying maybe just Christopher Lee was the king of Hammer, and Peter Cushing as well. Yeah, two great kings. Yeah, two great kings of Hammer horror. Jeff saying, yeah, Dr. Phibes Rises Again was disappointing. Yeah, it's not one of my favourite Vincent Price movies, that Dr. Phibes Rises Again. Yeah, I thought the storyline was very, very slow, you know, and a bit ridiculous in parts, you know. Yeah, I didn't care for that one. Elva Macer is saying, hello from Toronto, Pissing the Pendulum. Yeah, that's a good one, that. Pissing the Pendulum. All my days did I wince. Just like the Robert Morley scene in Theatres of Blood. Did I wince when I first saw that thing, that blade swinging down slowly towards that guy's stomach. Oh, God, yeah. Talk about the stuff of horrors. Oh, yeah. And Vincent Price goes off his rocker, doesn't he? And he ties him down and that, and the bloody pendulum swinging down, yeah. That's one of the most unforgettable, horrific scenes in horror movie history, I think, that scene in The Piss of the Pendulum. They did a remake, didn't they, a couple of years, it was in the 1990s, was it Oliver Reed and Robert Englund? Yeah, I've only seen bits of that, I haven't seen it right through. Case saying Madhouse was Price's last AIP film. Alright, yeah, I love that movie, it's a great one, that. Pete here, Ian and Alan, hope you're well, mate. I'm not too bad, thanks, Pete. Hope you are too, yeah. Hope you've managed to pick up some bargains this week, yeah. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, mate. Case saying, I wrote a song called A Fly, which samples Price's voice and was on iTunes. Alright, very good. I love The Fly, and The Return of the Fly as well. That's a great one. Brian's saying, I really enjoyed The House of the Long Shadows. Yeah, I did too. That's a great one, that. Yeah, it was great seeing all the horror legends acting together. It certainly was, yeah. And Julie Peasgood was in that as well, wasn't she? Yeah, she's a very, very good actress in that, yeah. She used to be on Alan Titchmarsh a lot, you know, in the when he used to have his own show of I think was it a Monday afternoon or a Wednesday afternoon? He used to be on of an afternoon, Alan Titchmarsh, and she'd come on, you know, talking about different things. Julie Peasgood, yeah. Oh yeah, I love that one, yeah. The ending though, there's a lot of it's sort of like, it's a kind of a Marmite ending, isn't it? Some people like it and some people loathe it. But yeah, I didn't mind the ending, you know. I like a good twist ending. Jeff's saying, the 1958 The Fly was a very clever film. Yeah, definitely. I think it's underrated. I watched this again recently. Vincent played his role very well, yeah. He was playing a nice, sympathetic guy for a change. Showed his acting skills. Oh yeah, he could play a good guy or a bad guy, you know, couldn't he? You know, with equal skill. Vincent Price, a very, very talented actor. Yeah, I read the book a couple of years ago. Was Victoria Price? You know, his daughter wrote about him. It's fascinating. It's quite a lengthy read, guys. So if you ever get a chance, have a read of it. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah. Am I dead? Yes, is saying he maybe would have made a good Van Helsing, considering he was the witch finder. Yeah, hunting vampires instead of witches. Yeah, there's a thought, isn't it? Yeah. It's a wonder he didn't play Van Helsing, isn't it? In one of his movies. And my favourite Abraham Van Helsing is the late great Peter Cushing. I thought he was fantastic in that role, just as equally fantastic playing Baron Frankenstein. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolute legends of horror. They really were. Am I dead? Yeah, good Van Helsing in Hammer, I mean, yeah. He was in going back to Peter Cushing, he played Van Helsing in that one of my worst Hammer movies, guys. I don't know what you think about it. The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. He reprised his role in that, didn't he? As Dr. Abraham Van Helsing. But I didn't care for that, guys. I'm not really into kung fu, and when I saw when I watched it in that. On the telly, I said to my parents, this is one of the worst Hammer films I've ever seen. This, The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. It was when all the kung fu craze came out in the early to mid 70s. Bruce Lee and that. They made it around about then, but I didn't like it, guys. I didn't care for it at all. There's another Hammer film as well, came out around about that time. Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter. I didn't like that either, guys. I thought that was a load of tripe. That, yeah. But most of the Hammer films have been top class. They really have. There's only been one or two turkeys, really. Of course, my special favourites are the Frankenstein and Dracula's with you know, Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. And talking of Hammer, guys, what I've started to do recently, you know, I've had a couple of the Studio Canal Hammer releases in my collection with the slipcovers. Now I've been comparing them to the Scream Factory ones, you know, that released in America, and the Scream Factory ones have got loads of extras on them what the Studio Canal haven't got. So what I've done, guys, I've ordered a couple. I've done this with the Scouser Dracula with Christopher Lee. I've ordered a couple of Scream Factory Blu-rays, so what I'm going to do when they arrive, I'm going to put them in the Studio Canal slipcovers and sell the Studio Canal Blu-rays, because, you know, I'm getting the best of both worlds. I'm getting the slipcovers, the Studio Canal slipcovers, and I'm also getting the Scream Factory Blu-rays packed with juicy extras and that, you know. But I love me extras, you know. Some people are quite content to just watch a movie and then that's it then, you know. But I love reading about, I love watching our movies made, all the little anecdotes, you know, that, you know, and all the hard work that went into the making of the movie, and of course commentary by the likes of horror experts like Jonathan Rigby, Kim Newman, you know. Oh, they're fantastic, those two, you know. They're on a lot of horror movie Blu-rays and that, you know, and oh yeah, they certainly know the stuff when it comes to commenting on horror, especially Jonathan Rigby. Oh, he's an absolute Bible of you know, Hammer horror, British horror and that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking those out. I've ordered Plague of the Zombies, and I've ordered the Reptile and Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, because they're packed with extras. So as I say, so when they arrive, I'll have them, and I'll flog the Studio Canal ones, the bare bones and that. So I'm looking forward to getting them. Case saying I enjoyed Monster Club. Yeah, that's a good one, that. Yeah, I love it when I don't know about you guys, but I always used to love it when Vincent Price used to do his roles with kind of tongue in cheek. You know, he knew he was a horror star, and he sometimes he would send himself up, wouldn't he? As he did in the Michael Jackson Thriller. You know, and I like that. Boris Karloff done it as well a couple of times, and especially in that TV series Thriller, he sort of like sent himself up as a horror star on that. You know, because he'd say things like, "Oh, what was that noise? I didn't like that sound of that at all." You know, things like that, you know, and he sort of like have a little like wry smile on his face and that, you know. But yeah, I always love it when he send themselves up, the horror stars. Now, Vincent Price particularly, yeah. He's a very, very approachable man as well, by all accounts and that. He loved listening to people, he loved talking to people, and always had time for his fans and that, yeah. Oh yeah, still miss him to this day, guys. He was a fantastic actor, yeah. Elvin is saying Witchfinder General was a Tygon Pictures. That's right, yeah, it was, yeah. Love Witchfinder General. Arthur Paint is saying, evening, have you ever seen the film The Maid Secret? No. Is that a Vincent Price movie? Doesn't ring a bell with me, mate. Jeff saying, I've never seen House of the Long Shadows, but I've heard a lot about it. You want to check it out, Jeff? It's a good one, yeah. But be prepared for the twisty ending, you know. As I say, you'll either like it or you'll loathe it. But I'm not saying any more about it. So yeah, so just be aware of that ending. Right. Larry is saying Vincent Price also narrated on the Alice Cooper song The Black Widow, right? And guested on Columbo. He did, yeah. Love that show. Well, talking about Columbo, I've heard on YouTube that I think it's Kino Lorber. They're gonna release two gigantic Columbo box sets. The first one's going to be all the series in Blu-ray with all piles and piles of features, commentary, and the next one's going to be all the TV movies he made when he came back, you know, in the late 80s, early 90s and that. So there's something to look forward to, guys, yeah? So you get the first Columbo with all the TV episodes on, packed with commentary and features, and you get, and I think it might be next year, I don't know. Don't quote me on it. You'll get the second box set of Columbo with all his TV movies and that. Oh yeah, I love Columbo. He's a fantastic, yeah. And Peter Falk. Oh yeah, I think he made that role his own, didn't he? You know, fantastic, yeah. So there you go. Arthur's saying when you wine arises in the morning sun and wake up next to. Oh, I don't know what you're going on about there, mate. Bear with me, guys. The idiots are in the room. Moderators, calling all moderators. There's only one thing to do with idiots, and that's just wipe them off the stream. I don't like to see them on other people's streams, guys. You know, when he sort of like gate crash onto other people's streams. You know, that annoys me. And that, you know, wouldn't you think he'd have better things to do than to come on somebody's stream and spout a load of rubbish? Sad lives. That's all I've got to say. KW, there's a book by Lucy Chase Williams about Price, which is good. Yeah. Elvin saying The Bat was another good one from Allied Artists. Yeah. Jeff saying I wish Vincent had done a Hammer House of Horror episode. Me too, Jeff. Yeah. Although he did appear in a couple of the Rod Serling's Night Gallery. If you've seen the it ran for 3 seasons. If you don't know much about Night Gallery, it was basically like a kind of a Twilight Zone, but the emphasis was more on horror than science fiction and fantasy. So you get like a couple of stories in each episode, and then you get Rod Serling coming on talking about a picture in a Night Gallery, and as he talked about the picture, it would morph into that particular segment. Yeah. But yeah, Vincent Price was in a couple of them. I think there's one called Sorcerer's Apprentice he was in. Yeah. So he made those comedy ones as well, didn't he? Dr. Goldfuss. Is it Dr. Goldfuss in the Invisible Bikini? Yeah. And he made 2 others as well, but he tried to take over the world. Yeah. Yeah. Master of the Whale was one as well, wasn't it? I haven't seen that one. Master of the Whale. I like him in The Last Man on Earth. That's a great one. That. Chestnut Step 7. Hi, Alan and everyone. You okay? Thanks for dropping by. Nice to see you. Eldon saying Madhouse with Peter Cushing and Vincent Price. Yeah. American International Pictures 1974. That's a great one, that, where he plays a fading horror star. That's a great one, that. Horror Bruce. Hi, Alan. Glad you were doing well. Oh, thanks very much, Bruce. Yeah. One of my favourites is also The Fly, but I really enjoy House on Haunted Hill. Yeah, I love that one as well. And House of Wax. Yeah. Now, bizarrely enough, all 3 have been remade. What do you think of these? Right, okay. The Fly remake, I'm not too keen on it. I preferred the David Hedison one. Much more enjoyable movie. I didn't like in that remake of The Fly. I didn't like when he was spewing up all, you know what flies do when you land on things and that. I didn't like that. That was sickly. That I didn't read the story. I don't think it was as good as the David Hedison one. You know, I didn't feel as sorry for the Jeff Goldblum character. Now this is just my opinion. You know, I know the remake of The Fly has got its fans. This is just what I think of it. I wasn't too keen on it. I've got it in the box set. I preferred the David Hedison one. That's the number 1 Fly movie for me. The David Hedison one. Very, very sad. All my days, and when his wife, you know, he first reveals to his wife, you know, he's got this thing over his head, hasn't he, covering his head up and that, because he's got the bloody big bulbous head of the fly, hasn't he? And when his wife pulls back the thing and that, she sees the fly. Oh, my days. That shocked me when I was a kid when I first saw that. And very, very sad, and that, you know, really was. Like, I love The Fly, the very first Fly. House on Haunted Hill, again, I like the original Vincent Price. I didn't like that corny remake, you know, and he tried to sort of like, they put a character in, didn't they? They tried to send Vincent Price up. Yeah, I didn't care for that one. I thought it was that. I didn't like the corny CGI guys and that. Yeah, I prefer the original House on Haunted Hill. And the House of Wax, again, I prefer the original. Yeah, it's very, very rare, guys. A remake, a remake attracts me interest and me liking. I don't say, very, very rare. You know, So in regards to those 3 movies, what you've cited there, all 3, I do prefer the originals. Yeah, definitely. Right, just bear with me, guys. Just scrolling up the comments. Right, Am I Dead? Yes, is saying a great cameo role in Edward Scissorhands. Yeah, I haven't really seen all of that Edward Scissorhands. I've seen clips of it. Like it. Yeah, it doesn't appeal to me, that movie. You know, yeah. Miserable old guess. You okay? Hi, Alan, guys. All okay? I hope, Steve. All right, Steve. Thanks for dropping by. Always nice to see you, mate. Malcolm's saying, evening, Alan. You okay? What's your thoughts on the rewriting of James? But have you seen the videos I've done about that? I've really let rip on them, I tell you. How dare they? I won't go on so much about it, guys. I've got to say, how dare they tamper with the original text You know, they've done the same with Roald Dahl, haven't they? And, you know, it's just crazy, you know, and they should leave history as it was. They're not going to change it. They can alter every bloody word in the book. They're not going to change it. And if any of them were watching some of these idiots that they want to tamper with like original text, get a bloody life, will ya? And just leave our stories alone. There's more important things in the world to be concerned about than going back into time and editing the text of a book that's part of our literary history. Just leave our books alone. Chestnut 7 is saying Theatre of Blood is my favourite Vincent Price film. Yeah, fantastic. One of my all-time favourite Vincent Price movies, Theatre of Blood. Yeah, he played the Edward Lionheart, didn't he? Yeah, getting his own back on all the critics like who tore his performances to shreds. He ended up tearing them to shreds, didn't he? Some of the killings he done. Elvin Massa. Alan, Hammer Shout Factory release or Region 8. Yeah, I've got a Region 3. Yeah, I've got a Region 3 Blu-ray player, so I'm alright there, yeah. Make sure your Blu-ray player is Region 3. Yeah, best investments. Oh, definitely, yeah. I've had my multi-region Blu-ray for a couple of years now. I got that for the sole purpose of getting Screen Factories and other American titles and that. If I hadn't bought it, my shelves would have looked much less full, you know. So oh yeah, definitely, yeah. I love me multi-region. I've got a multi-region 4K player now anyway, so lovely picture quality and a 4K telly and that. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Malcolm's saying, I've heard they're now thinking about reshooting. Oh, you're not. This is a joke. They're reshooting the Hammer horror films due to them being offended. Oh, you're joking, aren't you? They're not going to reshoot the Hammer horror films due to them being offended. What the bloody hell is wrong with it? Got a bloody screw loose up here. Do people want to complain about it, protest about it? It's ridiculous. They better not. I don't think Christopher Lee would be very happy if he was here. Idiots. It's a kind of a totalitarianism, this, guys, isn't it? It needs to be addressed, you know. The government needs to address it. Jeff's saying, yeah, Monster Club is a good film, yeah. I've heard a lot of people saying they don't like it, but I think it's great. I like it as well, yeah. John Carradine playing Art Chetwynd Hayes and B.A. Robertson in the nightclub, yeah. I love that one, yeah. It's a great one, that. KW, I love the commentaries as we've seen the film hundreds of times, yeah. Plague of the Zombies, You Scream Factory is a good one, yeah. Quatermass in the Pit is awesome too, yeah. I've got that one with the commentary, yeah. I love me commentaries. That one with Christopher Lee's a good one on the Scouser Dracula, guys. If you want to get the Screen Factory of that's a great one, that. So yeah, so I've got the best of both worlds there. I'll have the Studio Canal slipcover, and I'll have the Screen Factory, you know, the different artwork as well, and all the extras. Yeah, so looking forward to getting them. Yeah. Am I dead yet? Saying the horror actor played by Roddy McDowall in one of my favourite vampire films, Fright Night. That's a great one, that. Right, I like that one myself. It was called Peter Vincent's, a tribute to Price and Cushing. Yes, indeed, yeah. Oh, I love Fright Night, yeah. It's one of my all-time favourites. Hammer. Well, not Hammer. Vampire movies. Yeah, didn't care for the sequel though. I thought that was atrocious. Very, very slow, turgid storyline. Yeah, I did not like the sequel at all, but I loved that first one. Nice. Right. Malcolm's saying, shame Kim and Aggie aren't about anymore. Those walls could do with a good. Who do you mean by Kim and Aggie? I'm not even gonna sort of like Dane knows comments for a reply because they're just bloody stupid myself. Dr. Impossible. Hang on a minute, Alan. Vincent Price did several TV commercials in the US for Visa. Nothing like plugging a credit card with backs to Carter and Fugate Evening. I don't think I've ever seen those, Doctor. Those commercials. No, I've never seen them. Bear with me, guys, just comments have gone a bit weird here. These bloody weirdos as well, gate crashing. Right. Miserable old git. Dr. Fives, I love the return. I did not cast Just Look, not bothered. John Thorgood actor, wasted in that, yeah. Brian's saying, don't worry, Alan, we got rid of them. Good, good. We have hidden their messages on the group chat, but they still show up on your chat. Well, it's all right. I'll zap them as well. The minute I smell a rat, I will zap them as well. You think you'd have better things to do, wouldn't you? Idiots. Dr. Impossible saying, oh, sorry, that's the same one. Sorry, guys, it's these bloody idiots, the gate crashing, are just throwing everything up in the air here. Stephen Squawk, The Mask of the Red Death is an excellent film. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Good one. Elvin's saying Vincent Price played the villain Egghead. Oh yeah, remember him playing Egghead in the Batman TV series, yeah, from the 1960s with Adam West. That was one of my all-time favourite. That was one of my all-time favourite TV shows as a kid. The Batman series with what's the name, Adam West and Burt Ward. I loved it. Yeah, I used to get the Batman chewing gum as well. You know, from our local news agents. You have like these big glass jars on the counter, and you get the Batman chewing gum in. You get about 4 or 5 picture cards and that. So oh yeah, huge fan of Batman. Miserable old guest. Theatre of Blood. Loved it. Great ending. Yeah. It's a great one, Theatre of Blood. It's got a stellar cast, hasn't it? All the great British actors and that. Yeah, fantastic. Brian Gilson, I've heard From a Whisper to a Scream is really good. It's okay. It's okay. It's not one of my favourite Vincent Price movies. He's hardly in it. He's only in the frame and story. Yeah, it's all right. I wouldn't really rave over it. Right, Case saying Master of the World is good and a bit like a Disney film. It has Charles Bronson in it, right? Yeah. Oh, they're Disney are really up the wall, aren't they? With all this woke nonsense. Yeah. I've been watching some of the YouTube videos and that. You know, seconds and that. You know, cancelling shows. Now I'm not surprised the way they've been tampering with all the characters. You know, I don't want to get too political, guys, because this is about Vincent Price. You know, but I'm just saying about all the videos that's been on about Disney and that. You know, one of the top executives has been sacked and that. You know, amid all this woke nonsense and that. Yeah. They want to get back to. They don't want to be, as I said before about the James Bond and Roald Dahl, they don't want to start tampering with you know, traditions and characters what we've loved for decades. They want to leave them as they are, you know. I mean, like, you know, don't want to be tampering with them, as I say, changing Superman's gender and all that load of rubbish, you know. Let's hope they get back to normal. The people are rejecting, they're not going to see the movies and that, and on sites like Rotten Tomatoes, they're giving a big collective thumbs down. But you don't blame them. It's the only way to fight back against this craziness. Chestnut Step 7, The Fly. Yes, that was good. Yep. Miserable old guest. Hated The Fly remake. Yeah, I wasn't too keen, as I said before, I wasn't too keen on that Jeff Goldblum one. Chestnut Step 7, The Cobweb Scene. Yeah. Graham Powell saying, I love Tower of London. When he really went over the top as Richard III. Do you know, I haven't seen that one, Graham. Yeah, I'll have to get round to seeing that one. Yeah, there's still a couple of Vincent Price movies I've got to get round to seeing, you know. Am I Dead Yet? The Fly remake usually gets voted one of the best horror remakes up there with The Carpenters, The Thing, but I thought it was okay. Yeah, it's a very average movie, that one. Yeah, it wasn't great. I'm not a big fan of that one. I preferred, as I say, the David Edison one was the number one for me, the number one Fly movie. Great rewatchability factor as well. Jeff's saying, am I dead? Yes, I love the original The Fly, but the 1980s remake was good too, yeah. Well, that's got its fans, yeah. It is quite popular, but it's all a matter of personal opinion, really, isn't it, you know. Am I Dead Yet? To Jeff Joffe, yeah. Sorry, guys. Chestnut Step 7. I got Fahrenheit 451 yesterday for 20p about the burning of books made in 1966. Oh yeah, very depressing read that, as was the movie with Julie Christie. Yeah, not a big fan of that. Yeah, it's very depressing to read. What a stupid idea, burning books. Miserable old gits. Cuts are being made to Dad's Army. Oh, don't believe it. Cuts are being made to Dad's Army. What's wrong with Dad's Army? There's definitely something missing with them, you know, to do things like this, you know. Have they come from another planet or something? KW, I need the Scream Factory. I need the Scream Factory Trog, Alan. Well, you should be able to get it if you go to sites like Film Treasures and eBay and Amazon, WowHD, you know, and type in Scream Factory. It might pop up there, you know. Yeah, so you're bound to get it in the end, you know, if you keep searching online. That's the one with Joan Crawford in, isn't it? Dr. Impossible says Dragonwick was a real slice of gothic melodrama. I haven't seen that one, Doctor. Much of the drama with Vincent Price playing a fine performance. The film is a go-to when I fancy Joseph L. Mankiewicz's take on Rebecca, right? Yeah, I haven't seen Dragonwick, so I can't really comment on that, unfortunately. Right, am I dead yet saying sequels are hard to pull off, yeah, but I think horror and comedy are the hardest to do. They definitely are, yeah. The only real, I've said this before, the two main horror comedy movies that spring to mind that were well done, in my opinion, are Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein from 1948, and many years later, An American Werewolf in London from 1981. They always spring to mind when I think of horror comedies being done well. They got the balance right, didn't they? You know, with the horror elements and the comedy elements, yeah. And I love the way, particularly Abbott and Costello, the way the monsters played it straight. You know, Lon Cheney Jr. as the Wolfman, Glenn Strange as the Frankenstein monster, Bela Lugosi as Dracula. Oh yeah, fantastic, yeah. Love those two movies. Jeff's saying, Alan, I just finished watching Fright Night Part 2 about 30 minutes before you came on, and I agree it's a bit weak but still watchable. Yeah, not too keen on that one, Jeff. Yeah, it's not one of my favourite sequels, unfortunately. Horror Bruce is saying, I agree with you on originals being much better. Yeah. Do you remember Vincent playing Egghead in the 1960s Batman TV series? Yeah. As cool as Vincent, I said that before about Egghead, yeah. As cool as Vincent is, even he struggled to pull that part off. Good old Egghead. Yul Brynner or Telly Savalas would have been good in that role as well, wouldn't he? What happened to the baldy head. KW saying War Gods of the Deep is a good one, Alan. It's funny. I haven't seen that one, K. War Gods of the Deep. I'll have to check that one out. Thanks for that, mate. Dr. Impossible saying, I also like the film Laura. Vincent Price was in that film noir drama, but very good. Is that the one with Gene Tierney in? I seem to remember seeing that many, many years ago on our old black and white telly, and I remember I did enjoy that one. I wouldn't mind getting that one for my collection. Yeah, Laura, yeah. Jeff's saying, he's saying Vincent was in Scream and Scream again, yeah. First couple of times I watched that, didn't have a clue about it, yeah. Oh, I know, yeah, I know the one you mean, yeah. KW, who has the Scream Factory Price box sets? Well, I don't have them, no. I've got them all individually. Nice sets, aren't they? I've seen them many, many times. I've seen quite a few YouTubers unboxing them. But if you've got the original guys and you've got all special features, I don't think there'd be any real need to upgrade to them. Yeah. So, but they are nice sets, very nice sets. Elvin's saying, don't forget Vincent Price. Vincent Price as a supporting actor was also in Epic The Ten Commandments. I forgot he was in that. Cheers, since I saw that one. The one with Charlton Heston in. Yeah, Charlton Heston. 1956, one of the best pictures I've made ever, and I believe the 4K is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I've watched a couple of YouTubers' videos, and he said, you know, the picture quality is absolutely pristine on that Ten Commandments. A very, very long movie, isn't it? It's about near 4 hours long, but it's a great epic. Yeah, fantastic. Spartacus is another great epic, isn't it, with Kirk Douglas. Miserable Old Git saying, did hear that Vincent was a great guy, yeah, even out eating, he was always good to his fans, yeah, he never turned anyone away. I know, yeah, I've read a lot of good things about Vincent, yeah, he always had time for his fans, you know, and it's totally unlike the creepy vicious characters he often played on the big screen. Yeah, you'll find that with a lot of horror actors are totally opposite to the kind of characters they played on the screen. Yeah, oh yeah, I've heard a lot about Vincent Price being good with his fans. He was always interested. He was always interested to hear what they had to say. You know, saying about the lies and that. Yeah. Am I dead yet? Saying these young idiots just can't get it into their heads. These films just came out at a different time. Yeah. They just ignore them as if they don't like them. Yeah, well, they'll never erase history, and they'll never get rid of the classics, you know, what horror fans have loved and adored for years. So I don't know why they're even bothering, to tell you the truth, messing around with, you know, with text and films and that. Rock and roll hell. Evening, Alan, mate. Are you okay, mate? Thanks for dropping by. Nice to see you. Hope you've had a good week. Gina's saying, my favourite episode of Night Gallery stars Vincent Price in The Return of the Sorcerer. Oh yeah, Gina, that's the one I mentioned before. The Return of the Sorcerer. Isn't Bill Bixby in that one as well, where he goes for a job? He goes for a job, and the daughter's creepy as well, isn't she? Vincent Price's daughter. Yeah, I'm sure that's the one with Bill, because I know Vincent Price was in a couple of them, but I'm sure that's the one with Bill Bixby in as well, where he goes for a job, yeah, as the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Used to like Bill Bixby in the Incredible Hulk, and he acted with Elvis as well, didn't he? In one of the I think it was Clambreak he was in, Bill Bixby. Yeah. Right, am I dead yet? Saying sorry, that's right. Case saying Carry On Screaming is a superb horror comedy. Yeah. Frying Tonight and has some creepy scenes. Frying Tonight, yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, they better not take that out, them bloody stupid wokes, otherwise there'll be trouble. Miserable gets saying, the movie I can't remember has Vincent being buried alive. Anyone know? Are you thinking of the premature burial at Ray Milland? Yeah. But although you might be right, Vincent Price might have made one where he was buried alive. I don't know. Brian Gilson. Harry H. Corbett was good as a detective in it. Yeah, love Harry H. Corbett. Fantastic. Yeah, and Fenella Fielding in that red dress. Ooh, she got a lot of male admirers when she made that movie. Let me tell you. I love Jim Dale in it as well. He was good in that. Well, they were all good in it. You know, Kenneth Williams. You know, I'd say Harry H. Corbett, Jim Dale. You know, Charles Hawtrey. Am I dead yet? What iconic horror role that Vincent Price didn't do would you have liked to see him do? Any horror character in history? I often wonder if he'd have made a good Baron Frankenstein, because he did play a couple of mad scientist roles, didn't he? Yeah. So yeah, it would have been interesting to see how he would have compared to Peter Cushing, you know, as playing Baron Frankenstein. But other than that, none immediately spring to mind. So yeah, it would have been interesting, as I say, if he'd have played the Baron. Good question. Yeah. Just bear with me, guys, just scrolling up. Graham's saying one of the first Price films I saw as a kid was Diary of a Madman. I've got that one in my collection. Yeah, it's a good one, that. Yeah, like that one. Horror Bruce, do you remember the 13-part Scooby-Doo series, The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo? That ran from 1985 to 1986. It had a character called Vincent Van Ghoul, played by Vincent Price. It was really good. Oh, right, no, yeah, I haven't seen that one. Yeah, but I do remember Scooby-Doo. Yeah, but I haven't seen that particular series, what you're referring to. Brian's saying to Miserable Old Git, It is the film you're thinking of called The Fall of the House of Usher. Yeah, the one who's got the white hair. Yeah, that's a good one, that. Fall of the House of Usher, yeah. Yeah, his hair's dyed jet white, isn't it? Yeah, it's a great one, that. Kate saying Diary of a Madman is creepy. It certainly is, yeah. Jeff's saying, apparently he made a lot of westerns, Vincent. Now, I don't know how true that was. Do you know, Alan? I'm not a great fan of westerns, Jeff, so I couldn't tell you. He might have had bit parts, mightn't he? I only really know, like, for the horror movies, you know. So, but as I said at the opening of the stream, he did have a couple of non-horror roles as well. So, yeah, you're probably right. He probably was in quite a few westerns. But the only westerns I really like are the Clint Eastwood ones, you know, The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. Fistful of Dollars and a Few Dollars More, you know, Hang 'em High. They're the only westerns I really like. I like a couple of John Wayne's. I'm not really a great western fan, to be honest with you. I find them very repetitive and some are quite boring, you know. But yeah, I don't say I'm not a great lover of westerns. Right. Case saying to Jeff, he was in a western called More Dead Than Alive. Haven't heard of that one. Gina's saying, yes, Bill Bixby is in that episode. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I thought he was. Yeah, the Night Gallery episode, the return of the sorcerer. Chestnut Step 7, The Invisible Man Returns is pretty good. Is that the Universal one? Saw that years ago. I don't remember too much about it. Yeah. Sam K.A. Oi, Al. Oi, all. You okay, Sam? Thanks for dropping by, mate. Jeff saying to KW, oh, was he? Thanks. Right. Am I dead? Yes. He could have been good as the priest in The Exorcist. Max von Sydow's role. Yeah, there's a thought, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, and maybe in Peter Cushing, you know. But I do know that Peter Cushing said he doesn't like, you know, at the time when the movies like that came out, he didn't like the path the horror genre was going on. You know, I seem to remember reading in an article that was published around that time. He was shocked by The Exorcist. You know, so he said he didn't like the way horror was turned into a real explicit genre. You know. Sam's saying, watched Edward Scissorhands earlier. I forgot he was in that great film, right? Chestnut Step 7 saying, The Oblong Box wasn't bad. It's years since I saw that one, The Oblong Box. I don't remember too much. Christopher Lee was in that, wasn't he, as well? Yeah, it's years since I saw it, so I don't remember too much about that one. Stephen's saying, The Fall of the House of Usher is my all-time favourite film. Yeah, it's a good one, that. I have an original poster from it. Yeah, I like that one, Fall of the House of Usher. He did a few films for Roger Corman, didn't he? Vincent Price. American International Pictures. KW, Oblong Box is a favourite, along with Cry of the Banshee. Yeah, it's a good one. Mask of the Red Death is a good one as well. Any of you guys fans of that movie, The Mask of the Red Death? Venom Boy 95. Have you got House of the Long Shadows? I have got the House of the Long Shadows, and I love it. Yeah, it's a great one. Yeah, even Sheila Keith's in that. Yeah, she's quite good as well. They used to call her the female Boris Karloff. Yeah, it's a great one. That the creepy house and that. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Graham's saying, I think he played a vampire in F Troop. I do remember F Troop. That was about the American Civil War, wasn't it? I don't remember. It's years since I saw it on our old black and white telly, you know. So I don't remember. I don't remember the exact scenarios of each episode. But I don't. For that matter, I don't remember the Vincent Price one. You know, it's just like the Sergeant Bilko. I do remember it being on. But I don't remember, you know, the episodes. KW saying he was in the Muppet Show. I vaguely remember him being in the Muppet Show. Yeah. Oh, they had quite a few guest stars on that, didn't he? The Muppet Show. Larry's saying the comedy of terrors with Price, Karloff, Laurie and Rathbone. Yeah, very good film and isn't talked about much yet. Do you know what though? That's the one with the the Undertakers. Yeah, I couldn't really get into that one, even though all the great horror stars were in it. Yeah, and another one as well, that one, The Raven. I didn't like that either, where Boris Karloff and Vincent Price, the rival magicians, aren't they? I didn't care for that one. You know, yeah, I've watched that a few times, that Raven, and each time, you know, oh no, it's not for me, this. Kay saying Price got tired of AAIP and was glad when his contract ended, right? Jeff saying, Alan, Vincent made me laugh Vincent's made me laugh in Madhouse when that young girl played by Linda Hayden was following about, and Vincent said this. Vincent said this is ridiculous. So yeah, I love Linda Hayden. Oh yeah, one of my favourite actresses. She is. Yeah, she's good in Taste of Blood, Dracula as well, which he had a father, like he was sort of like, he was cruel, so wasn't he? It's a Jeffrey Keane. It's a great one, that. Am I dead yet? Saying, haha, F-Troop wasn't the Millwall hooligans call that? Is that where they took their name? I don't know. Elvin's saying, sorry guys, comments are just jumping tonight all over the place. Elvin's saying, Vincent Price also made a lot of game show appearances. He did the opening narration of Michael Jackson's Thriller video in 1983. Yeah, he comes on at the end, doesn't he, when he says, darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Sorry for the poor impression, guys. I say I've got to stick one in now and again, you know. I say Mike Yarwood and Rory Bremner, you've got nothing to worry about. He's very hard to take off, though, Vincent Price. He really is, yeah. I do remember many years ago there was this group. Any of you guys remember a show called Seaside Special that used to be on a Saturday night? It was the kind of the X Factor of its day and the Anson Deck of its day. And you get like, they come from a different seaside resort each week, like Bournemouth, Brighton, Blackpool. And you get like the likes of David Hamilton, Tony Blackburn hosting it, you know, Top of the Pops. ABBA were in it one week. And there was this group on, I'll never forget it, because I had my tape recorder, I got a new tape recorder at the time. And there was this group on, they were like the Grumbleweeds. And this fella, he took Vincent Price off, and you should have heard him, guys. He had it spot on. If you'd have closed your eyes, you would have thought it was Vincent Price. That's how good he was. And ever since then, this was going back to the 70s, I've never seen anybody since that can really take off Vincent Price as impeccably as that guy did in that group. I don't remember the name of the group, but all my days he did a good job taking Vincent Price off. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, you actually thought it was him, you know, just like that guy. Bobby Pickett in the Monster Mash, you know, he's got Karloff's voice spot on, you know. If you didn't know it was Bobby Pickett and the Kripkes, you think it was Boris Karloff had made the record. Oh yeah, fantastic, yeah. Jeff said, I didn't like The Raven at all, waste of the talent. Yeah, it wasn't much, Jeff, I didn't like that. Venom Boy saying, I think Vincent Price was in Bloodbath at the House of Death, yeah. Starring Kenny Everett. He was indeed, yeah. Playing a villain as usual, yeah. And Pamela Stevenson, yeah. Oh, yeah. And as I say, the guy that was in the New Avengers, Gareth Hunt, yeah. It was good, that. Good fun, yeah. Something to put on. A good movie to put on a rainy Sunday afternoon and that, and give it a chuckle, yeah. I like that one. There was one other comedy, guys, I wasn't too keen on, and I was expecting it to be good. I was very disappointed in it. The one with Frankie Howard in. What was it called? The House at Nightmare Park. Any of you guys seen that? Oh, I didn't like that, guys, at all. I was very disappointed with it. Ray Milland, I think it was the fella that owned the house in the country. But oh yeah, I didn't like that at all. That one, The House at Nightmare Park. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. Cinema Chaos is saying he had some great radio anthology shows like The Price of Fear. I've never heard them. A fantastic voice. Yeah, the radio plays. Oh yeah. Have you noticed though, guys? Most of those horror legends have really got fantastic voices. You know, Christopher Lee with the deep baritone and that, and Boris Karloff with the lisp, and Lon Cheney Jr. He had a good voice as well. He's narrated a couple of stories on YouTube. There's one I can recommend, guys. It's a story called The Yellow Ribbon. and you want to listen to it, just type Lon Cheney Jr. in, reads horror stories, and I've listened to it. I've listened to it a few times, and the ending still gets me. You know, you don't see the ending coming. All about this girl. She's got this yellow ribbon tied around her throat and that, and her boyfriend, he's asking her, why do you always wear that yellow ribbon round your throat? You know, and he's asking her for years and that. She said, one day I'll tell you why I wear it round my throat. And at the end, when you finally get married and they're old and that, she finally reveals. I won't go any further, guys. I'll let you listen to it for yourself. It's called The Yellow Ribbon, and it's narrated by Lon Cheney Jr. It's one of the greatest horror stories I've ever listened to. You know, so check that out, guys. The Yellow Ribbon, yeah, about the girl with the yellow ribbon tied around her neck. It's a great one. And the way Lon Cheney Jr. reads it, oh, fantastic. Boris Karloff as well, I can highly recommend. Tales of the Frightened, that's a good one, because he starts off saying, "Are you frightened?" You know, the way he used to go, like with his creepy voice with the lisp and that. So check those two out: the Boris Karloff Tales of the Frightened and the Lon Cheney Jr. one. Yeah, if you like, you gotta enjoy like horror stories narrated by horror stars, you know, to really get the benefits of them. But oh yeah, highly recommend them. They're very good. Sorry guys, the comments have just jumped up a bit here. Just bear with me. Jeff's saying, I didn't know you did impressions, Alan. Very, very poor impressions, Jeff. I do my best though. Your Vincent was okay. Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, thank you. That's to say, Mike Yarwood, you needn't worry, or Rory Bremner. But thanks, appreciate it. Right, just bear with me, guys. I'm just getting the comments to line up again here. Just right. Kay's saying, sorry, guys. Kay's saying Price did a good record about witchcraft, and it's on Spotify. If anybody is interested, I'll have to check that out. Thanks for that, Kay. I'll definitely check that out. Brian's saying The Haunted Palace was good. Lon Cheney Jr. was in it too. He was indeed, yeah. The late great Lon Cheney Jr., the greatest Wolfman ever, in my opinion. Chestnut says, I'm getting a bit of a name here for doing the impressions, aren't I? Alan's Christopher Lee, the first, the second, the third. Wasn't bad. Oh yeah, that's what when he, in the Taste of Blood of Dracula, where he bumped off the three decadent businessmen that were dragged into the ritual hosted by Lord Courtly. Yeah, I love that one. Yeah, he counts down, doesn't he? And the part where he bring him back, where he says it was something like, "They have destroyed my servants. They will be destroyed." Oh, some classic lines in that, guys. Yeah, he very, very rarely spoke much, did he, Christopher Lee? In his Dracula films, but when he spoke, who you sat up and listened to him, he was that good. Yeah, fantastic. Case saying The Raven was probably the worst of the Poe film cycle. Yeah, terrible movie. Right, Am I Dead Yet is saying Vincent Price as Lord Summerisle and The Wicker Man. Oh yeah, good. Yeah, good points. If Christopher Lee hadn't took the role, imagine that. I know, yeah, imagine that, yeah, definitely. Oh, I love Christopher Lee in that role, though, as the sinister Lord Summerisle. He's a fantastic in that, yeah. I loved his wig as well. Venom Boy saying, have you got From a Whisper to a Scream from 1987? If so, would you recommend it? As I said before, it's a bit of a meh movie, guys. You know, it's not one of Vincent's, in my opinion, it's not one of Vincent's best movies yet. He's only in it in the as I said before, he's only in the frame and story, guys, and it's supposed to be like unknowns, you know, in the segments and that. But yeah, it's not one of his best. Elvin's saying Vincent Price was the Saint Simon Templar on the radio before Roger Moore. TV series. Oh, I didn't know that. He played the Saints. Well, that's news to me. Tell you what, you learn something new every day, don't you, guys? Right, just wait for some more comments to load up. So what's your favourite Vincent Price movie then, guys? Have you got a particular favourite? It's what you watch again and again and again? Let me know. Yeah, be happy to discuss. He made his mark, didn't he, in the horror movie genre? Oh my days, did he? Fantastic, yeah. And that voice, you know, oh yeah. Right, Horror Bruce is saying, I liked him in The Last Man on Earth. Good movie, yeah. He played that part so well because you needed someone with a great presence, being the only person who spoke in it. Yeah, it's a good one, that, yeah. I'm thinking about getting the Kino Lorber Blu-ray of that. It's a nice edition. It's got extras on it as well. I've just got the bare bones. I've just got the bare bones DVD at the moment. I've got like I've got the colorized version and I've got the black and white version. So I might try and get the Kino Lorber one. They're a great company, by the way, Kino Lorber guys. As I say, they're releasing the Columbos, the two big box sets of Columbo this year. So it packed with all features and that. So I've got some of Clint Eastwood as well, Kino Lorber, and I've got I tell you what I've got on Kino Lorber, Some Like It's Hot on 4K. That's a good one with Tony Curtis and Marilyn Monroe and Jack Lemmon. That's a classic. That, yeah. Oh yeah, I love Kino Lorber. Yeah. So just waiting for some more comments, guys. So yeah, oh yeah, he's made some fantastic movies, Vincent Price, over the years, hasn't he? And he really gets into his roles, doesn't he? You know, he's really convincing, you know, and he's an absolute legend, he really is. Right, Kay's saying, there's some poor versions of Last Man on Earth on disc. The Kino is the best in my opinion. Oh, you've got the Kino one, and have you? Yeah, there is. I've seen some very blurred copies of that, Last Man on Earth. Some of these, some of these horror compilations where you get about 50 to 100 horror movies for tenner and 20 quid. I've had some of them in my time, and oh yeah, the films look as if they've just been filmed on a very, very poor camera from the 1980s in a darkened cinema. You know, some of the picture qualities are absolutely abysmal, and I mean abysmal. You know, so oh yes, I say I might get that Kino Lorber, Last Man on Earth. Brian's saying, I remember seeing a video on YouTube of Vincent Price reading The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, seated next to a log fire. I can imagine he'd done one of those, yeah, like Christopher Lee used to do, sitting by a log fire on a cold winter's night and that, and reading from a big antiquated book. That would be so synonymous with him, wouldn't it? That sort of scenario. Because I know Christopher Lee did it with the Poes, didn't he? Edgar Allan Poe and M.R. James, yeah. Dennis Bedford saying an excellent impression of Lee, an excellent impression of Christopher Lee in Taste of Blood of Dracula. Oh, thank you very much, Dennis. Yeah, my head's going to start growing bigger if this carries on. But no, being serious and that, you know, I just throw them in like for a bit of fun. You know, I don't really try to sort of aim to be like the equal of Mike Yarwood or Rory Bremner and comedians like that. My two all-time favourites, impressionists. But yeah, I just throw them in for a bit of fun. You know, like the Kenneth Williams and that. Yeah. Just a bit of a laugh, like. Tell you what, we need more laughter in the world, don't we, the way things are now. Just putting on that bloody news of a night, oh my God. Not but depressing news, you know. Oh, if they say to me, well, let's put a comedy on or something and that, you know, or a musical show. Terrible, that news. Chestnut 77 saying, I love Some Like It's Hot, great film, it is indeed, yeah, it's a classic, that. Great film with the lovely Marilyn Monroe, yeah. Oh, yeah. She had a gorgeous figure here, didn't she, Marilyn? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fantastic. KW. My favourite Vincent Price film is Scream and Scream Again, yeah. I have the Kino and Twilight Time, yeah, version, both excellent. Yeah, that often pops up, that film, Scream and Scream Again, in me live streams, yeah. Sometimes get that confused with the other one, and now the screaming starts, yeah. Jeff's saying Vincent and Christopher Lee born on May the 27th, but different years, and Peter Cushing May the 26th. How weird is? I know, yeah, I know. It's weird that, Jeff, isn't it? Yeah, birthdays like, you know, in proximity of each other. Yeah, so there you go. Oh, he's made some fantastic films, hasn't he? Vincent Price over the years, you know. I say, especially Theatre of Blood, you know. Dr. Fives, The Fly, you know, Mask of the Red Death. Oh, yeah. And as I say, the ones he's done with Roger Corman, you know, and as that one, Diary of a Madman, all them, you know, and that's another one as well. There's another good one as well. He made like a horror anthology movie. Forget the name of it. What's it? Not Twisted Tales. Something Tales. I've got it on Blu-ray. It's very good. He has some good stories in that. Oh, that's it. Twice Told Tales. That's a good one, guys. Twice Told Tales. Yeah, and I think he's in every single one. Vincent Price. He plays a different character. Yeah, Twice Told Tales. So if you haven't got that one, check that one out. It's a good one. Chestnut 7 saying, love the Diana Dawes scene in Theatre of Blood. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a good movie, Theatre of Blood. Yeah. The way he killed all those people, all those critics and that, you know, and as I said, the worst kill was the poodle pie, you know, the poodle pie scene with poor Roger Moore, what's the name, Robert Morley. Yeah. Am I Dead Yet saying, and sometimes obviously the 27th of May is the bank holiday. The Wicker Man was sacrificed on May Day. Is May Day the end of the month? I'm not too sure, you know. Again, we've had an extra bank holiday, haven't we, since May 1978. May Day, yeah. Case saying Vincent Price only made 2 Amicus films and 1 Tygon, yeah. I loved him in that Witchfinder General. Oh God, was he scary in that? You know, he didn't show any mercy, did he? You know, he went to people's homes, dragged them out and that. You know, had his assistant torture them and that, trying to sort of like extract a confession from them. You know, and the way he dumped them in the pool and that. You know, in the river and that. Oh yeah, very heart-rending at times, that movie. I liked Ian Ogilvy in it as well. He was good. He played the hero, didn't he, Ian Ogilvy? Yeah, he was very good in that, the Witchfinder General. Am I Dead Yet saying, in fact, May Day, I think, is the 1st of May, right? Sorry, guys, just get comfortable here. Let's wait for some more comments. I've still got quite a few horror movies to watch there. They're all piled up there on the shelf and that. So, oh, by the way, I finally managed to get myself a big shelf to accommodate all my horror Blu-rays. I got it from one of the shops, you know, one of the charity shops. It's a nice one as well. So, I put all my Blu-rays on, packed them on, and I've got he was going to let me have another cabinet as well, so he's going to move an ornaments out of that, so I'll have another shelf then. So once I've got all that shelf full up, I'm going to do, all going well, I'm going to do a video showing you all my horror collection, you know, right from the first shelf right down to the very last shelf. So stay tuned for that. So that should be coming up very, very soon. I've had quite a few requests actually from me subscribers. He said, when are you going to do a video showing off your horror collection on the shelves? So I really made up. Finally managed to get it. You know, as I've said, I don't like doing DIY. So when I spotted it in one of the furniture shops in Birkenhead, I snapped it up right away. It's a nice one as well, yeah. And I put all my arrow titles and all together and so forth. And they look really nice, yeah. So in a couple of weeks' time, that'll be getting uploaded to you know, a YouTube channel. Show me collection off. Right, back to the comments. Right, Chestnut 7 is saying £1 was it not? This is 2 ounces over. Famous quote. Brian's saying he was really evil in the film with Patrick Moore, where he also played a Witchfinder. Yeah, that was a good one. Mark of the Devil, Herbert Lom. He played a character very, very similar to the character Vincent Price played in the Witchfinder General. Oh, you're savage in that one, Herbert Lom, the Mark of the Devil. There's one particular scene in that guy's involving it where it's, let's just say, it's very, 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 very harrowing scene. Poor girl gets her tongue ripped out with these like medieval torture implements. Oh yeah, very hard to watch. Mark of the Devil. So if you like Witchfinder General, you might like that one, Mark of the Devil. But be warned, it's a hard watch. It really is a hard watch. Right, Sammy's saying, I'm going to check that Twice Told Tales film. I haven't seen that one, Alan. All the best. Yeah, it's a good one, that, Sammy. Yeah, you'll enjoy that one, Twice Told Tales. Yeah, it's a great one. Elvin's saying, cameo in the greatest story ever told, biblical epic, 1965, with so many superstars, including the John Wayne, yeah, as a Roman soldier. Max von Sydow played Jesus, didn't he? Telly Savalas play Pontius Pilate. Yeah, it's a good one, that. Yeah, and my all-time favourite one, though, is King of Kings with Jeffrey Hunter. Yeah, and I like the one with Robert Powell in as well. That's a good one. I think they were the best Jesus films, yeah. The Greatest Story Ever Told, King of Kings, and the Robert Powell one. They were the three best, movies about the life of Christ, yeah. I wasn't too keen on that. Well, The Passion of the Christ, I thought that was a bit too brutal, that. The one with Mel Gibson made, yeah, I'm not a fan of that one. Kay's saying, have you seen the two cuts of Witchfinder General, Alan? The American version has a synthesizer score. No, only seen the British one. Kay's saying, love to see your horror collection, Alan. Well, Kay, as I said before, all will be revealed very, very soon. Yeah, once I've got the two shelves, all my films piled up, stacked up on the shelves and that, I'll get me camera, my phone, I'll start filming my collection. So something to look forward to. I always wanted to show my collection, guys. As I say, since I started my YouTube, I've had quite a few people saying when you're going to do a video showing your horror, all your horror collections are. So that day is coming. It's coming very, very fast. So as I say, keep watching my channel. Right, Jeff's saying, Horror Hands also did a video showing his collection on the shelves. Indeed he did, yeah, it's a good one, that. Wow, he has a lot of movies, he certainly has, yeah. I look forward to your video, Alan. Oh, thanks very much, Jeff, yeah, cheers, yeah. As I say, yeah, I'll put it on soon, once I've got the other shelves sorted out and that. So, I've managed to, as I say, they're basically just piling up and that, so I had to get one or two more shelves to sort of like, accommodate them all. Because there was a lot, like they were sort of like hidden. But I had that many Blu-rays, they were hidden behind some of the Arrow titles and that. So I'm getting there anyway. So as I say, it won't be too long now before I'll be doing that video. Brian's saying, how many Blu-rays do you have? I'm really looking forward to seeing your collection. Do you know what, Brian? I haven't counted them. No, I haven't counted them. I must have, oh God, let's say what? Maybe near just around 1,000, 1,000. I'd say I haven't counted them, but and I've got a lot of box sets as well. With so many films on. Yeah, I'll have to do a count one day and see exactly how many discs I've got. But yeah, something I've never really done. Counted all my films and that. Just like buying them and just putting them on the shelves and that. So. Alvin's saying, Alan, I'm looking forward to collection video. Oh, thanks. I enjoyed your Liverpool videos you did a while back as well. Oh yeah, I'm glad you like them. Yeah, the out and about ones. Yeah, I'm glad you like them. Horror Bruce is saying, did you keep any of your VHS movies? I gave all mine away, but kind of regret that now, as they are kind of collectible now. No, I didn't say. I didn't bother. No, I got rid of them all. Once I got me DVDs and that, yeah, I just got rid of them. There's no point really. I got rid of my VHS player as well. Yeah, and of course when Blu-ray came out, I've ended up buying more Blu-rays now than DVDs. Although I do buy a lot of DVDs, but it's mostly Blu-ray now. For the best picture quality. Graham's Graham saying you can't beat physical media. I hate streaming. Yeah, I'm with you there, Graham. You can't beat physical media, and I just hope all this streaming implodes on itself eventually. And well, there was some from one of the YouTube videos I was watching recently. There is some good news on the horizon, because I believe is it Disney, the fella that's in charge of Disney, said we need to go back and look more on getting our titles out on physical media. So that's one of the options what Disney are going to be looking at. They're going to go back to physical media, so fingers crossed, other companies might follow suit, and we might start seeing a revival of, physical media. Let's hope so. Anyway, so depressing seeing these supermarkets guys not stocking movies anymore. Like Tesco's and that, and local Asda where I live, they've hardly got any. It's depressing. Like when you go in, you've got to look for them with a bloody magnifying glass. Oh, there's a DVD there. That's how bad it is. Yeah. I think they should. I think more people should buy physical media, guys. And to sort of like support it. Because streaming. Like, I mean, when you think about it, like streaming, there's no guarantee that the movie's going to stay there forever. It's going to be it's going to be there for so long, and then if you want to go back and watch it and you see it's gone, it'd be very very annoying. That, I should imagine. I do watch the odd streaming movie on Amazon Prime, just to make sure before I buy it, to see what it's like. But it's mostly physical media, guys, I'm into. Yeah, so the two can go along hand in hand. As long as they don't cancel, or as long as like streaming doesn't completely cancel out, if you know what I mean, completely cancel out physical media, that's fine. Go hand in hand, no worries, as long as physical media won't disappear completely, which I don't think it will. So yeah, I'd be quite willing to accept that. But as I say, when the push comes to the shove, I'm more of a physical media guy. Jeff's saying if you run out of space, you can always dig out your own cellar, but don't tell the council. I know. I've got even a room for that. KW, can anyone remember the MGM Midnight Movies DVDs? Lots of Price films on them. Vaguely. I have them all, right? Larry's saying, I can't believe it's 30 years ago we lost Vincent Price. The early 90s took some great ones. They did. Peter Cushing and Ralph Bates too. Exactly, yeah. It only seems like yesterday, doesn't it? There you go. Richard Beckinsale was another fine actor, wasn't he? We lost at a young age. I was watching him last night in The Lovers with Paula Wilcox. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, the picture quality is lovely, and the story's good. It's real everyday life, about the ups and downs. If you're not familiar with The Lovers, it used to be a TV series in 1970, the early 70s basically, and he made a spin-off, as he did do with a lot of those series in the 70s, and one of those spin-offs was The Lovers, which you watched last night, and it was very good, yeah, giving you sort of like a good insight into the 70s and that, and the Courtney couple and that, having their ups and downs and that. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm going to watch it again in a couple of weeks. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I love Paula Wilcox. She went on to be an Man About the House, didn't she, with Sally Thompson and Richard O'Sullivan, and then after that she made one with, didn't she have a baby, what was it, she had a baby around about 1970, was it Mrs. Jones and Son? Does anybody remember the series called Mrs. Jones and Son, where she had a baby? Yeah, I didn't really watch it all that much, but I know she did a series where she had a baby when she'd finished Man About the House. But I love Paula Wilcox. Yeah, I'd say poor Richard Beckinsale. We lost him at a very young age. I used to like him in I liked him in Porridge as well, and Rise and Damp. Yeah, very fine actor. But that Lovers, the picture quality, it was absolutely pristine. And as I say, if you haven't seen it, guys, I highly recommend it. You get yourself that. It's a fantastic movie. Right, Miserable Old Git saying streaming is losing cash big time, and if you stream, cuts are made, get the discs, yours forever. Yeah, definitely. Venom Boy saying, is there a specific movie you loved to have seen in the cinema, or would you like to revisit and watch on the big screen? Well, I did on the rare occasions that I've been to the cinema, count them on one hand actually. One of the movies I loved, I stayed and watched it all over again, was On the Buses. You know, the Reg Varney movie. It was made in 1971. My mum took me to see it on a red hot summer's day, and I enjoyed it that much. And I said to Mum, "Can we watch it all over again? Stay behind." All right then. She said, "Yeah." So we watched it all over again, and I enjoyed it just as much as I did watching it the first time. Yeah, watched it all over again. Stayed in the cinema. I don't think we got out of the cinema till about 8 o'clock. Yeah, because in them days, I don't know what the situation is like with now. You know, these days with the films, because you can stay behind and watch them again and again and again, which is what I did. We're on the buses, so yeah. But apart from that, I say I'm not really. I'm not a cinema goer. I like to watch all my movies on the telly, you know, in the comfort of my own home. Chestnut 7 saying, "Oh, Richard Beckinsale, loved him in Rising Damp, yeah, and Porridge. He died at 31, sad, that's right, yeah. His daughter's Kate Beckinsale, isn't she? Yeah, very fine actor. Yeah, he's very good in that Lovers, yeah, he really was." Jeff Joffrey, I love Ralph Bates, but his worst movie has to be I Don't Want to Be Born. Oh, didn't you like that one? I thought that wasn't bad, that one. Yeah, about the demonic baby, wasn't it? Joan Collins, yeah, I didn't mind that one, Jeff, yeah. There was quite a few in the wake of The Exorcist. There's quite a few killer kid movies, wasn't there? Killer babies around about that time. It's Alive, I Don't Want to Be Born. You know, movies like that. Yeah, but yeah, I don't mind that one. Yeah. Elvin saying, "Off the topic, Alan. Do have Netflix been watching The Agents, Elvis animated? Note this is not a family show. Lots of foul language, so not so for everyone." Oh, so you don't mind the foul language then and that, but the censoring James Bond books that were written years ago. Beyond belief, it really is. You know. KW, Ralph Bates was an underrated actor. Certainly was. Yeah. I loved him in that one. Taste of Blood of Dracula, where he played the sinister Lord Courtly. He resurrected Dracula with the ritual, the blood ritual, didn't he? Yeah, and he was good playing. He was good playing Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, wasn't he? Yeah, that was a great one. That played Dr. Jekyll, and Martine Beswick played the Sister Hyde. I love that one. That's one of my all-time favourites. That love that one. I can't wait to get the Scream Factory with all the extras on. Paul is saying, "Hi Alan, I recently got the uncut Mask of the Red Death, good film. Jane Ash's bath scene looked longer, right? I'll have to get that one for my collection. Yeah, as I say, there's quite a few gaps in my Vincent Price collection, so I'll have to pick that one up, yeah. Years since I watched that one, actually, the Mask of the Red Death. Am I dead? Yes. Roy Kinnear, who was in a couple of Hammer horrors, died young, he did. He fell off a horse, didn't he? Didn't he fall off a horse when he was playing was it Musketeers, a movie like that, a period piece? He was also Mr. Salt in Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory played Mr. Salt. That's something I've never had. I've never had any salt with my chocolates. Very unpalatable experience, yeah. But being serious, yeah. I didn't know, because it's years since I've seen Willy Wonka. So yeah, I've forgotten he played Mr. Salt. Horror Bruce is saying, "One of my favourite Hammer movies and Ralph Bates movies is Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde." Yeah. Martine Beswick was great too, great actress. Yeah. Often turns up at horror conventions all around the country. Yeah. She's great, Martine Beswick. Miserable Old Guest Alan, great chat. My Ness is dropping out. Have a great weekend. TC Steve. Oh, thanks very much, Steve, mate. Yeah, sorry to hear about your internet. Have a nice weekend. Yeah, enjoy yourself, whatever you decide to do. And I look forward to chatting to you again very soon. Thanks, mate. Am I dead? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fell off the horse. Oh, Roy Kinnear, yeah, he fell off the horse. Yeah, I thought that's how he died. Yeah, he fell off the horse. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Roy Kinnear again in Taste of Blood of Dracula, where he discovers Dracula in the forest, doesn't he? Dying on the cross, and he takes all his art, his belongings and that, and he sells them to the three decadent businessmen. Yeah. I used to love Roy Kinnear. He was in tell you, I used to like him in. He was in Man About the House, wasn't he? He used to be the odd job man. I forget his name and that. Yeah, and he was in Inside George Welby. Anybody remember that? Inside George Webley, or Webley, whatever. KW, I like horror of Frankenstein. Me too. It's a guilty pleasure for sure. Yes, indeed it is. Yeah. the lovely Veronica Carlson's in that, isn't she? My number one favourite hammer girl. Oh, gorgeous lady, and a very nice lady as well. You know, another top actress used to turn up at horror conventions and that, meet her fans and that. Yeah, oh yeah, I love Veronica Carlson. Yeah, thought that was a very sad movie she was in, where Peter Cushing stabbed her with the scalpel in the stomach. You know, where Frankenstein must be destroyed. Oh yeah, that was a shock. That shocked me as much as the Nancy's death did in Oliver, and Janet Leigh's death in Psycho shocked me. That shocked me. When you get sort of like attached to a character, especially, you know, a heroine, and he die, all of a sudden you get murdered, you know, it shocks you, you know, it makes your jaw drop, doesn't it? You know, and again, if you want to move away from horror, like Gwen Stacy in the Spider-Man, which she got killed by the Green Goblin, both in the comics and in the movie, that was a shock. That shocked all the comic book world, the death of Gwen Stacy, yeah. But oh yeah, you know, it's like, this is it. You see, I think it was Stephen King that said, if you don't care for the characters, the story doesn't work. You've got to care for the characters. You've got to get invested with the characters. Otherwise, the story doesn't work. And there's a lot of truth in that. I would tend to echo that sentiment. Yeah, if you can't get invested in the characters, if they're not interesting enough, then the story falls flat on its face. Yeah, Martine Best with great casting. Larry's saying Ralph Bates met his wife, Virginia Wetherill, in Dr. Jekyll, right? Venom Boy 95 saying, do you remember a very young minder in Scouser Dracula? I do remember a very young minder, and that very young minder happens to be the late great Dennis Waterman. Yeah, oh, he's great in that. I used to love Dennis Waterman in the Sweeney and Minder. I tell you, the movie he was good in, guys. The one with Susie Kendall in Up the Junction, he's very good in that. Yeah, and the one where Susan George plays a babysitter, Price, that's a good one. He plays a boyfriend in that. Yeah, he's come around for a bit of a rumpy pumpy. Oh, yeah, Mrs. Yeah, and of course, you know, she doesn't want to be bothered in that, you know. But oh yeah, Grace in that. But he's good in everything. Dennis Waterman, he's a good actor. Yeah, always played a tough guy, didn't he? Terry McCann and Detective Sergeant George Carter in the Sweeney. Oh yeah, he's one of our best actors. Dennis Waterman, married to Rula Lenska, wasn't he? Chestnut Seb 7. Roy Kinnear was also in George and Mill. That's the name. That's what I was thinking of. Jerry. That was the name of the handyman character in Man About the House in George and Mildred. Jerry. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. The name slipped me mind there. Yeah. Yeah. He was good in that, wasn't he? Yeah. Graham Powell. I had a lovely chat with Veronica Carlson some years ago. Oh, that's awesome. I'd have loved to have met Veronica. I presume this was at a horror convention. Oh yeah, I've often seen her getting interviewed at a horror convention. Yeah, very nice lady, very warm lady, and she spoke very, very fondly of Peter Cushing. You know, she said about like he never really got over the death of his Helen, his wife. You know, and she spoke well of Christopher Lee as well. You know, he sort of like, you know, when she come onto the set of Dracula's Risen from the Grave, he guided her. He saw, like, you know, she was a bit unsure in that, so he said something there. I don't remember his exact words, and he said, "I'll watch my eye line, and if you look at my eye line, you'll get it right," sort of thing. Yeah, sort of like he gave her a sign where to look in that, you know. But oh yeah, both very helpful to her and that. Yeah, oh yeah, love Veronica Carlson. I just wish she'd have made more. Wish she'd have made more Hammer films and that. I know she made one a couple of years before she passed away. She got back together with was it Callum Munro, and the guy that played you know, Johnny Alucard in Dracula AD. He was in the House of the Gorgon, which you can't get in any of the normal retailers. You've got to send off for it. Now I was going to send away for that, because I would have loved to have seen it in a modern horror movie. Yeah, the House of the Gorgon. So if any of you guys have got that, let us know what it's like, you know, and if any of you know anywhere that could get it, because I can't get anywhere now. So yeah, watch out for that one. Yeah, she came back and done a horror movie. Yeah, the House of the Gorgon it's called. Just bear with me, guys. His comments just jumped a bit here. Right, Paul's saying, sorry. Yeah, Peter Cushing raping Veronica Carlson was shocking. Yeah, it even shocked him himself. Yeah, because he took her out to dinner. Yeah, from what I've heard and that, you know, the interviews and that on the Blu-rays and that, he took Veronica out to dinner and he said, you know, he kept apologising over and over and over again. You know, dear, he said, that's not me in that movie, you know, that shocking scene, that's not me. And he kept saying to her, you know, you're okay about doing it and all that. Oh yeah, and he really considered people's feelings, Peter Cushing, you know, and oh yeah, that shocked us when we saw Baron Frankenstein, because he locks the door, doesn't he? She's in her bedroom and he throws the keys onto the bed. He's got his jacket slung over his shoulder and just throws the keys, you know, nonchalantly onto the bed and that, you know, and he grabs it then, doesn't he? And he, you know, well, you know what happens, don't you? Yeah, but that was a shocking scene, that, yeah, very shocking. Shocked a lot of people, that scene. KW was saying Veronica Carlson died a couple of years ago. Sad, yeah. Oh yeah, I was upset when I heard she'd passed away. You know, because I'm a member of a Facebook group, and you know, and Veronica sent me a message a couple of years ago thanking me. You know, because I've done a video of her, I've done a tribute to her, and I got a very nice message off her saying thank. You know, and basically she was flattered and that. You know, I've done a video of her. I would have loved to have met her. You know, oh, she was my number one hammer girl. She really was. The minute I saw her in Dracula's Risen from the Grave, I instantly, my heart started rustling. I was sensed. Yeah, oh yeah. I know Hammer Film has had many beautiful ladies. It's an undeniable fact. That was one of the aspects that made them so great. They had some lovely looking ladies in those Hammer horror movies. But Veronica Carlson, all my days, was she a beauty? You know, and she had the personality to match as well. Yeah, oh yeah, lovely lady, and very sadly missed. Right, am I dead yet? Wasn't Joanna Lumley in one of the Hammer horrors? Yeah, she was in. Tell you what, she was in the Satanic Rites of Dracula, where she took over the role. What's the name it played in the previous film? Stephanie Beacham, Jessica Van Helsing. She played. Yeah, I always remember that part where she goes down into the cellar and all the vampires are chained up, aren't they? And that chained to the walls and that, and they attack her. Yeah, that's right. She was in the Satanic Rites of Dracula. Joanna Lumley, yeah, she was good as Perry, wasn't she, as well, in the Avengers. Yeah, I admire her work for the Gurkhas as well. Joanna Lumley, she's done a lot of work for the Gurkhas, hasn't she? Yeah, oh yeah, lovely, another lovely lady, Joanna Lumley. And of course she was in I didn't really watch it though, guys. She was in Absolutely Fabulous as well, wasn't she? Yeah, and she was in Sapphire and Steel, wasn't she, Joanna Lumley? Yeah, oh yeah, very fine actress. Yeah. KW saying Dennis Waterman was good in Scars of Dracula. He certainly was, yeah. And as I said before, that Scream Factory edition of Scars of Dracula, if you haven't got it, I highly recommend you get that, because you've got the commentary with Christopher Lee commenting on the film, you know, and then you've got other commentary as well, which I haven't listened to yet. But I've listened to the Christopher Lee commentary. It's fantastic, and that really is, yeah. So, oh yeah, I love Scars of Dracula, and I can't understand why some people scoff at it. You know, I think it's the main source of people's derision is the bats. They said they look fake looking. Well, that's fine. You know, you can't get every horror movie, you know, 100% perfect and everything, and that, you know, you've got to have one or two little weaknesses here and there, you know. But yeah, I didn't mind the rubber bats, guys. You know, it didn't bother me, you know. But I love Scars of Dracula. I think it's a real good, fun ride. That the part where, and Christopher Lee says a bit more than that, doesn't he? You know, he's a bit more loquacious. He talks more than that. And the part where he's crawling down the walls of his castle like a big reptile, he done that in the Bram Stoker. If you've read Dracula, that is exactly what Dracula did in the Bram Stoker novel. He crawled down. I think Jonathan Harker looks out the window and he sees the black form crawling down the walls of his castle like a huge lizard. Oh yeah, I love Scars of Dracula. Jenny Hanley's in it as well, although her voice was dubbed, which used to get my goat, that dubbing their voices. Paul Conway, Joanna Lumley played Jessica Van. That's right, she played Jessica Van Helsing in the Satanic Rites of Dracula. That's the movie I always refer to as the James Bond Dracula. We're having this sort of like secret service, the government officials and that, you know. It's like a kind of a spy movie, isn't it? And that, you know, all the gang on motorbikes and that. And as I say, all the big top brass involved in that, yeah. Venom Boy 95. Wasn't there a George and Mildred movie? There was a George and Mildred movie, and I want to get that for my collection. I think I've only seen it once, but I think they get involved in gangsters. My memory serves me correctly. I think they're in a hotel or something, and they get drawn into gangster activities. Yeah, I'll have to get that one. I've got the series of George and Mildred, but I haven't got the movie. I've got the Man About the House movie, which you love. Right, Case saying Fright is a good one. Yeah, it's a good one, that. Definitely. I have the Sweeney on Blu-ray from Kino. I liked the first Sweeney movie, but did not like that second one. I thought that was a real bore fest, that second one. I got the two a couple of years ago from picked them up from HMV, but say I liked the first one. I didn't like that second one. It was terrible. The ending was quite hair-raising as well. I won't say what it is, but it was quite shocking, the ending of the first Sweeney, yeah. Paul Conway, what do you think of Countess Dracula? I thought Ingrid being dubbed was wrong. Oh, she was dubbed in that, was she? I'm not a great fan of that one. It's okay. It's not one of my favourites. It's not one of my favourites Hammer films, Paul. I prefer Twins of Evil and the Vampire Lovers to that, and Lust for a Vampire. It was okay. She bathed in the blood of virgins, doesn't she, to preserve her youth? Yeah. Countess Elizabeth Bathory. Yeah, I'm not a great fan of that one, Countess Dracula. Brian's saying The House of the Gorgon was on Talking Pictures TV, introduced by Carolyn Munro. It was a good Hammer film homage. Oh, I missed that. I don't really watch Talking Pictures, to be honest, so yeah, I missed that one. You never know, I might be able to get it somewhere on DVD. Jeff Joffey, I've heard of that film, The House of the Gorgon, but I couldn't get it either. Very, very hard to get, yeah. It's just like that other one that's hard to get now. That one with anthology movie with Grave Tales with Brian Murphy. He's in the Framing Story, and he plays a gravedigger in this cemetery. I think it's in London. I don't know if they shot it in Highgate Cemetery, but anyway, he plays this gravedigger. He's in like the Framing Story, and this girl goes into the cemetery. I don't know if she's a reporter or not, and she's walking around the graves and that, and he pops up all of a sudden, and he says about the graves and that, and see that grave over there, I've got a story about that. So they sit down, Brian Murphy sits down with the girl on a bench in the cemetery, and he starts relating stories about each grave, and that's a good one. That's very hard to get, that one. I was very lucky getting that. It's one of my favourite anthologies, that. Very, very underrated movie. Grave Tales, starring Brian Murphy from George and Mildred. So, oh yeah, I love that movie. I watch that quite often. It's very reminiscent of the Amicus, the Amicus horror movies, yeah. So if you ever see it, guys, on eBay, snap it up, because I should imagine that will become more and more valuable as the years go by. So yes, it's called Grave Tales and stars Brian Murphy. So watch out for that one. It's a good one. Paul's saying, I thought Yussi Stensgaard was gorgeous as well. Oh yeah, I would definitely agree with you there. Yeah, the Scandinavian actress Yussi Stensgaard. Oh yeah, she's a cracker there, absolute cracker she is. Yeah, she's been in a couple of comedy movies, hasn't she? Like in the vein of Confessions of a Window Cleaner, who misses. Yeah, but yeah, love Yussi Stensgaard. Yeah. Chestnut 77 says Joanna Lumley was in My Town, where the Gurkhas are based. Oh, right, yeah, she's done a lot for the Gurkhas, hasn't she, Joanna Lumley? And she's made a couple of series, hasn't she, where she travels around the world on the trains and that, going to different parts of the world. Yeah, done all sorts, hasn't she, Joanna Lumley? But yeah. Brian's saying to Jeff Joffrey, I think it's hard to get, as it was a Kickstarter funded film. It might be on eBay, right? KW, I used to collect the Hammer horror bubblegum cards in the 70s, and Veronica was good in The Ghoul. Yeah, that's another movie I'd like to see released on Blu-ray, The Ghoul. That's a fantastic one, that. It stars the guy who was in The Survivors, who played Greg. Yeah, he's good in that. He was in the he made a couple of zombie movies, didn't he, abroad? I always forget that guy's name. He's got blonde hair, and he was in the Survivors TV series in the 1970s. I always forget his name. He's a good actor. Bear with me, guys, the comments have jumped up a little bit here. Jeff's saying, thanks, Brian, to Brian Gilson. Yeah. Michael's Movie Corner. Hi, Alan. Hope you are well. You okay, Michael? Thanks for coming along, mate. It's nice to see you. I recently picked up The Exorcist and Pet Sematary. Oh, right, yeah. I love Pet Sematary. One of my all-time favourite Stephen King movies, that. KW, Scouser, Dracula is a good movie, and Scream Factory is superb. Yeah, spot on. It's a great addition to Scream Factory. I could have watched Christopher Lee. I know he did become somewhat weary of the role towards the latter years, but I could have gone on watching him play Count Dracula forever. He was that good, he was just that good. He had this, like, I've said it before, guys, he had this charisma about him when he played the Counts. I don't think anybody's come really close to him, really, in regards to playing Count Dracula. Big step up from Bela Lugosi. He was good in his day, Bela Lugosi. He was very sinister, but he never bared his teeth. There was no blood, obviously, because they were very, very tame in the old days, weren't they? But when we saw Christopher Lee in 1958, that was an absolute revelation. When he's seen his eyes with blood in them and fangs and hissing and that. Oh yeah, definitely the best Dracula ever. Chestnut Sub 7 Scars of Dracula. Yeah. Brian Gilson to Jeff Joffrey, you're welcome, Bryce. Robert Turner, Vincent Price was brilliant when he teamed up with Diana Rigg in Theatre of Blood. Yeah, as I said before, one of my all-time favourite Vincent Price movies, that Theatre of Blood. Graham Powell, Joanna Lumley was one of the Angels of Death in my favourite Bond film, On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I think I've only seen that one once. Yeah, George Lazenby, isn't it? Yeah. Jeff's saying, talking of vampires, I made a mistake of watching the 1979 Salem's Lot trailer, and I had a lot of vampire nightmares that night. He's talking about the part with the lad at the window, Danny Glick. Yeah, he's tapping on the window and that, and he's floating up in the air. Yeah, that did cause a lot of nightmares amongst the horror fraternity, that scene. And also the scene, I've mentioned it before in a previous stream, where the guy, I think he plays a gravedigger, I don't know his name, but he's been in loads of films. He's sitting in a rocking chair in a darkened house, and you can see his eyes are glowing and that, and he's sitting there, and his fangs are sort of like a bird and that, and oh yeah, that's quite creepy, that, yeah. I love that one, that's Salem's Lot. Chestnut Sub 7, George and Mildred's film is funny, yeah, I'll have to get that. Yeah, that's to say, some good comedy movies made in the 70s of those TV shows. One of my favourites is On the Buses, which for some reason is yet to see a Blu-ray release, so I hope eventually that they do get that out on Blu-ray. It's long overdue On the Buses for a Blu-ray release. I tell you, one of my favourite girls and that, guys, On the Buses was. I'm talking about the series now. Anybody, if you remember the series called The Inspector's Niece with Madeline Mills, Stan was absolutely crazy about her. She appeared in 2 episodes. She appeared in The Inspector's Niece and Going Steady. And Stan, he was absolutely head over heels in love with her. And of course, Jack was after her as well in that. And I like the part where Stan invites her around to his house for tea, him and Blakey, her uncle, and Jack comes in, he sort of like gate crashes and he tries to spoil the fun and that, and he says, like, there's a good film on the telly tonight, and his family are going to go to the pictures, Stan's family, we'll watch it and that, and Stan wants to get rid of them so he can have him and the girl can have the house themselves. That's a great one, that. Yeah, Madeline Mills, she was very nice on the eye as well, like what's her name, the ladies I mentioned before, Veronica Carlson, and the other girl, Linda Hayden, Madeline Mills, she played the inspector's niece. So it's two of my favourite episodes, and the episodes where they get dressed up as airline pilots and try to impress the girls and that in a nightclub. There's so many good episodes on the buses, guys. And the part where they make Stan, it's either Stan or what's the name, Arthur makes his own home brew. I think it's Arthur, and Stan gets drunk and he goes on Juicy and he's drunk, and they're gonna have to take the bus out any minute, and Jack panics. He said, come, we'll get you into the canteen. And he stuffs him with mashed potato, tries to get him sober. Yeah, oh, that was a great series down on the buses, guys. I absolutely love it. Got the whole series I have, and I've got the movies on DVD. But as I said before, I hope they do a Blu-ray release of that. Paul's saying, have you been to HMV recently? Well, my HMV, Paul, Liverpool, is closing down for a couple of weeks for renovation, so it should be opening the week after next. So I've got some coupons as well when I bought me movies, and that gets so much knocked off. I think if you spend £25, you get a £5 or £6 knocked off. So that'll be reopening in a couple of I think it's the week after next, actually. Yeah, so with them being shut, I haven't obviously can't get in with them being shut. I'm curious what they've done to the physical media since the revamp. I hope they haven't reduced it. That's my number one fear. They haven't sort of like reduced it to one shelf, and just sort of like increased the general merchandise. Because if they have, it'd be very, very sad, because I used to love going to HMV and seeing all the movies on display and that. But I just hope they haven't reduced the physical media. That blooming streaming's got a lot. It's got a lot to bloody answer for, hasn't it? That bloody streaming. Right, Venom Boy 95 is saying, I recently watched Spaceman and King Arthur, which is an old Disney movie starring Jim Dale, Kenneth More, and Ron Moody. Was called Unidentified Flying Oddball in the States. It was made in the UK. I haven't seen that one. Let's watch out for that one. Chestnut 7 is saying here, I got Bless This House, the film, a while back, another great spin-off. Yeah, I've got that one as well, Bless This House. I've got Please Sir as well, and I got Father Dear Father. Anybody remember that? Patrick Cargill, Father Dear Father. I got the network one of that as well. Yeah, my mum's not fussy on that, Father Dear Father. Yeah, she said he's a bit toffee nose, he's got like this nanny and that, in the house, and that. He's got his two daughters, his two blonde daughters, and he got up to all sorts of hijinks, fellas and that, But yeah, my mum's not a fan of that, Father Dear Father. I used to watch that avidly as a kid in the early 70s. I thought Patrick Cargill was great in that, with his two daughters and that, He used to say, oh, nanny, what am I going to do, nanny, and he's supposed to be an author, a widower, and he's writing a book, and that. I like Father Dear Father. Yes, I'm looking forward to checking that one out. You can't beat a bit of Patrick Cargill. Right, Paul Conway, Peter Cushing was the best Van Helsing. Yeah, definitely. Oh, sorry guys. Oh. Yeah, he was great in that role. Am I Dead? Yes. Jeffrey Lewis. Any relation to Jerry? Right, Venom Boy 95 saying, think there was a Are You Being Saved movie? There was, yeah. I had that on DVD a couple of years ago, so I think there's a Blu-ray of that now. I'm sure, the imprint label, I'm sure that's on that in that imprint box set with Steptoe and Dad's Army. I'm sure it is. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I've got the whole series of Are You Being Saved as well. Jeff's saying, I've got to go, but nice chatting, Alan, and all. Bye. Oh, thanks very much, Jeff, mate. Yeah, have a nice weekend, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Yeah, cheers, Jeff. Have a nice weekend, mate. I'll be finishing at 10 tonight, guys, anyway, so I've enjoyed it anyway. Yeah, thanks for turning up, and if you want to get any more questions in before 10 o'clock, feel free to do so. Anything, not just Vincent Price, but any aspect at all. Just excuse me a minute, guys. I won't be sick. sorry about that, guys. As I say, I've got until 10 o'clock, so if you want to get your questions in, I'll be happy to answer as many as I can. Thanks again for turning up. I've really enjoyed it. Right. Catching up, guys, with the comments. Am I dead yet? In Salem's Lot, in the chair, you were asking about Jeffrey Lewis. That's his name. I always forget his name. Jeffrey Lewis, the vampire that was rocking in the chair. That's right, Jeffrey Lewis. Venom Boy saying Condor Man. Oh God, I remember that one. Condor Man starring Michael Crawford and starred Oliver Reed. Do you remember it? Yeah, I rented it out many moons ago from my local video shop. Don't remember too much about it, but I do remember Michael Crawford and Oliver Reed in that Condor Man. Yeah, I'm reading Oliver Reed's not written by him, but by a guy like writing up about his life and that. It's very good. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Nearly finished it now. I've got Tony Hancock's biography as well. Any of you guys seen any Tony Hancock's films or his show? I enjoyed his 2 films what he made. The Punch and Judy man and The Rebel. Very good, yeah, absolutely hilarious and that, especially The Rebel. Yeah, he plays like this kind of, I won't say too much about it, he plays this kind of like failed artist and that, and he thinks his paintings are good, and he goes to France and that, you know, mixes with all the bonhomie of Paris and that, and he gets like this fella's painting as well, and this guy comes along, art expert played by George Saunders, and he mistakes the paintings the other guy's done for Tony Hancock's. That Tony Hancock hasn't painted them. This other guy's painted them, and he's impressed with them. So Tony Hancock starts sort of like taking the credits on that. But when it's found out that he didn't do the paintings, all hell breaks loose. It's very good, guys. Yeah, Tony Hancock. It's you can get it on Network Blu-ray, The Rebel and the Punch and Judy Man. You can get them both on Network. They're very good. If you like British comedy, you've got to like Tony Hancock. I'd highly recommend them. They're very good. The Americans love all you being served, Chestnut 7 just said, yeah. Zany Adams, Venom Boy. My dad and me went to see it when I was a kid and loved it, not seen it since, right? He's saying again, Venom Boy, great chat, Al. See you at the next one. Night, everyone. Oh, good night, yeah. Thanks for turning up. Really appreciate it. KW, love On the Buses, great Hammer films. Yeah, they were Hammer films, yeah. On the Buses, yeah. Definitely. They loved the Clippies, didn't they? And Blakey, I hate you, Butler. Sorry, guys, there goes another Corey impression. Come on, get this back out. Go on. Good old Stephen Lewis. Paul Conway, have you seen Network's British film DVDs? I love Network. Yeah, I buy from them regularly. There's some rare gems with Barbara Shelley and Hazel Court. Model for Murder is good. I haven't seen that one, Paul. I'll have to check that one out. But oh yeah, I love Network. They're a great company. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching Please Sir as well. Yeah. Chestnut 7, love the Hancock TV series with Sid James. They're hilarious. I've got the Hancock TV series. I got it from HMV for $12.99. So it's a pity. A lot of the episodes were lost, wasn't it? Yeah. There's I think there's only about 37 episodes of Hancock in that box set. But yeah, it's a great pity because he did a lot of radio work as well, didn't he? Tony Hancock. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. But those 2 movies were great. What he was in, loved them. Horror Bruce, for my sins, I am a huge Nicolas Cage fan. A lot of people do like Nicolas Cage, and I'm really looking forward to his next movie, Renfield, when he plays Dracula. Have you seen the trailer? I haven't seen the trailer, but I've seen a couple of photos. I'll have to check that out, yeah. Renfield, yeah. Fancy him playing Dracula, eh? Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Is it kind of a comedy, is it? Spoof. Brian Gilson, have you seen the Nearest and Dearest film? I love the TV series. That's another one I've got to get. Nearest and Dearest, yeah. Love that series, yeah. Jimmy Jewell and Hilda Baker. I used to like it when she used to say, oh, must get a little hand for Tommy's watch, yeah. And they had the pickle factory, didn't they? Yeah, and then the old fella used to go to the house with his wife, Walter. I used to say, have you been, Walter? Have you been? Oh, she was great, Hilda Baker. Yeah, I'll have to get that Nearest and Dearest. Both the series and the movie. Fantastic. And she went into another series, didn't she, Hilda Baker? Not on Your Nelly. That was good. Not on Your Nelly. Yeah. She was on The Good Old Days a few times as well. Yeah, anybody remember the good old days with the guy with the little hammer, and he'd say, "This time, chiefly your cells," and he'd hit the desk with the little hammer, wouldn't he? Yeah, set in like a Victorian music hall, but you get like big stars on, like Ken Dodd, you know, people like that, you know, fantastic. I'll say Hilda Baker. So we've got 5 minutes, guys. Anyway, so as I say, if you want to get as many questions in as you can, I'll be happy to answer as many of them, you know, as I can. So I've enjoyed it, really have, yeah. And as I say, if you've got a favourite Vincent Price movie, favourite Vincent Price moments, even a favourite Vincent Price anecdote, you know, please discuss, yeah. But there's so many great movies, and as I say, if you want to know, you know, in detail about his life, I'd highly recommend that book. What his daughter wrote about him, Victoria Price. It's very good. Yeah, it's quite a bulky read, like the Tony Hancock book I've just got, but it's very good. Yeah, it's really good. So yeah. So is there any movies what you're particularly looking forward to? Any new releases that are coming out? What you can't wait to get? Yeah, again, discuss in a couple of minutes what we've got left. Am I dead? Yes, that's a question. Best Dracula outside of the famous ones: Max Schreck, Bela Lugosi, Christopher Lee. I did like Gary Oldman and Dracula. Oh, I didn't like that one. No, I wasn't fussy on the Gary Oldman one, but I do know a lot of people do like it, but it wasn't for me. No, I don't like the way he didn't look like Dracula, because he had the top hat on, glasses and that, and he had the grey suit on. He didn't look like Dracula. I didn't like that one, but I love Christopher Lee, love Bela Lugosi, love Max Schreck. I like the guy who played him in the TV show from 1977, Louis Jourdan. He was very good. He played Dracula. Yeah, I think he was one of the closest to Christopher Lee, Louis Jourdan. Yeah, great actor. Larry Fleetwood would love to see the good old days on DVD. Stranger hasn't come out, I know, yeah. Well, they released the Wheel Tappers and Shunter Social Club, which is another highly enjoyable series from the 1970s, hosted by Colin Crompton and Bernard Manning. I've got all them. But you never know, they might release the good old days at some point. I'd like to see all the Generation games released as well. The ones with Brucey in and Anthea, I wasn't too... The other ones, the later ones were okay. But I loved the original with Bruce Forsyth. He was my favourite host. Larry Grayson didn't do a bad job, but I do prefer Bruce Forsyth doing it. You know, especially when he had this Anthea Redfern with him. Another one of my 70s crushes, Anthea Redfern. Yeah. And then he come back, didn't he, in the 90s with Rosemary Ford? Yeah. What's the scores on the doors, Miss Ford? Yeah. Sorry, guys, I couldn't resist that impersonation. Yeah. Good game. Yeah. Nice to see ya. Oh, he's great, Brucey. Yeah, absolute icon of British television. You know, Mr. Saturday Night they called him, didn't he? Yeah. Oh yeah, used to love Bruce Forsyth. Kay saying thanks, Alan. It's been a good night. I've enjoyed it, Kay. Yeah. And I say thanks everybody for turning up and that, you know, really some good questions and that, you know, some discussion, some good topics broached. Yes, I've really enjoyed it. So all going well. I hope to be back next week, next Thursday, same time, same place. I don't know what the theme's going to be yet, guys. I'll decide on that, you know, over the weekend. And so yeah, fingers crossed. I'll be back next Thursday with another live. And Am I Dead Yet? Salem's Lot remake. I want to see. Right? Are you talking about the one? Oh, I presume, are you talking about the one that's coming out? Or are you talking about the remake with Rutger Hauer, which I didn't care for? I think Rob Lowe was in that, wasn't it? It was 2005. But I presume you mean the one that's coming out, don't you? Yeah. I'm not. I haven't got my expectations up very high for that one, because I've been disappointed that many times with horror remakes. I've just thought, to hell with it. You know, I just basically just play it by ear and see what it's like when it comes out. You know. But Zami saying, I'm going to watch Mark of the Devil 1970 tonight. I can't believe I haven't seen it. Oh, you're in for a shock with that torture scene. Yeah, so be prepared for that. You know, if you don't like tongues getting ripped out, so yeah. Chestnut 7, good night, Alan, everyone. Oh yeah, good night. Yeah, thanks for turning up. I've enjoyed it. Yeah, and as I say, all going well. I'll be back next week with another live. Yeah. All right then, guys. I'm gonna wind this stream down now. So thanks again. I've really enjoyed it tonight. Talking about Vincent Price amongst other things. And yeah, great to see us all on that. It's nice to see us, as Brucey would say. To see is nice. And yeah, all going well. As I said before, I hope to be back next Thursday again. 8 o'clock, same time, same place, with another live stream. All right then, guys. Look after yourselves. Have a nice weekend. Take care. Bye. Take care.